Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar. It's a great pleasure to have you here. So we are very happy to have more than 150 participants in this webinar and to share the updates from MediaFutures and more information about our first open call. So for your information, the session is being recorded and only panelists can speak. This is how GoToWebinar works. Attendees can use the chat, so please feel free to use it and add your questions there. The MediaFutures team is active in the chat. We will be sharing more links of the project in the chat, and we will be also collecting your questions. So please feel free to make use of it during this webinar, and we are looking forward to having this interaction with you. So the webinar is being recorded and it will be soon be uploaded at the project's YouTube channel. So in case you would like to take a second look, we will be sharing it very shortly. So please keep an eye on our social media on when this will happen. And moreover, to answer already the question, our slides will be also shared in case you would like to consider them. So this will also take place very soon. So we're seeing more attendees joining the session. Thank you very much for joining. So I think we can briefly start and we can go on to the next slide. We are very happy to have you here and to present the open call of MediaFutures. As you know, MediaFutures is the data-driven innovation hub for the media value chain, funded by the European Commission. And we will be sharing more information. So moving on to the next slide, we have a very big team of fantastic people working in the project. You can see some of our colleagues here in the video. So I'm very happy to have, besides myself, I'm Alexandra, coordinator of MediaFutures, and I'm very happy to have with us in this webinar our colleagues Louise from EURCAM, our colleague Tanja from NMA, Next Media Accelerator, our colleague Ellen from ODI, our colleague Pablo from EURECAT, our colleague Mikel from ZABALA, and my colleagues Alina and Gerrit also from Leibniz University of Hanover. So this webinar is brought to you by this sub-team of the MediaFutures Consortium. So moving on to the next slide, we can share some information on what we're doing here today and how you can benefit from this webinar. So first and foremost, we will be sharing a brief overview of MediaFutures and saying what MediaFutures is about. Then we will dive into what we offer, so what benefits you can derive from applying in MediaFutures and in our open call. And moreover, then we will share some more information on the concrete application steps, so more the logistics of the platform, which of course is very useful to facilitate the application process. Afterwards, we'll be sharing some more information about the next steps of the project. We'll be also featuring a Q&A session, thus please make sure to use actively the chat and please make sure to upload your questions in the chat, which we will gather and answer, of course. And then we will be sharing more information about our matchmaking tool. So we offer a tool which is free for you to use. It's a fantastic opportunity. So we really encourage you to benefit from it. You can use this tool to meet people actually and see if you can have a good business fit with them and to further discuss on bright new ideas and concepts on which you can use and apply for MediaFutures. So it's a great networking opportunity online during COVID times. And more information on that will follow very soon. So I think that being said, we can move to the next slide and give this brief overview of MediaFutures. So as you might know, media challenges are nothing new. Fake news have always existed. Nevertheless, nowadays we have some very innovative technologies. For example, AI, deepfakes, filter bubbles. So what happens nowadays is that these phenomena are very much accelerated. So via these technologies, we are also spending more time online, in our lives. So this leads to the fact that such phenomena like misinformation, hate speech are more widely spread globally, and this of course leads to spreading harmful content. Thus, in MediaFutures, we further want to reshape the media value chain and of course complying with the European values of privacy, confidentiality, accountability, and data sovereignty. And moving on to the next slide. Our open call is addressed to SMEs, startups, and artists. So the European Commission offers a fund, an innovation fund of 2.5 million euros, which will be used to fund 51 SMEs and startups and 43 artists. This, of course, is equity-free funding, which is very important. And moreover, besides the funding, we are also offering startup and artistic mentoring, support, networking, and guidance, which we know is of great importance when it comes to setting up your own SME startup or being independent as an artist. In that context, MediaFutures is offering a 6-month acceleration program for SMEs and startups, which is customized to the needs of the media sector, which is very important in this case and unique. Moreover, at the same time, for artists, we offer the respective 6-month residency program. So moving on to the next slide. Yeah, so what we really want to achieve in MediaFutures. So we really want to tackle the challenges of the media nowadays and to even out the current imbalances. At the same time, we want to discover bottom-up ways to enhance digital democracy and journalism. We want to enhance data literacy, which is very important because data, we know the importance of data. So, and at the same time, we also want to further develop media literacy. So it's about coming up with very innovative, out-of-the-box solutions that will enable content diversity, transparency, and accountability. And we really want to engage with quality journalism and support people that work in this domain and want to further enhance democratic processes and online decision-making. So moving on to the next slide. So here you can see more specifically the funding allocated per category. That being said, SMEs, startups, or artists. And of course, the training that we offer, which includes mentorship, connection with important stakeholders, and other support that will enable you to be successful and implement your business and artistic idea. Moving on to the next slide. So MediaFutures has 3 tracks, and you will hear about that more in greater detail in the next chapter of the webinar. And MediaFutures also offers 4 challenges for which you can customize your proposal and apply. In the next slide, we can see a brief overview of the 4 challenges, which of course can be accessed in our website. So if you click on the plus sign, you can read the description, which is much more detailed of each challenge. And you can use the information to apply. So the first 3 challenges are more related to the current challenges of the media sector, and more specifically to the COVID circumstances that we are facing. Of course, this phenomenon is considered by different angles. And we have an open challenge, namely challenge 4, which will enable you to unleash your creativity and come up with truly original ideas. And you can decide the topic and the scope, but of course, please make sure to read carefully the description of its challenge before applying, and of course, the evaluation criteria to make sure that your application will be successful. And we can move on to the next slide. So here, the next chapter of the webinar will be what MediaFutures offers. And I would like to give the floor to my colleagues, Louise, Tanja, and Ellen, that will present this chapter.
Thank you very much. So as you've understood, thanks to Alexandra and our website, I hope, what we will offer to successful applicants is funding, mentoring, and training. There are 3 different tracks you can apply to. You can see them on the next slide. They are the one dedicated to startups for citizens. It's an accelerator program. You have a second one that is for teams of 1 artist and 1 startup. It's called Startup Meets Artist. We really ask the teams to apply together and to work together for the whole duration of the program. And finally, the last track is called Artist for Media. It's dedicated to artists, and it's a residency program. For each track, you have different steps that you will have to go through if you are selected. And at each step, there is a selection process. So you can see that on the next slide, you have the three tracks, SFC, SMA, and AFM, and you have 3 steps for each of them: start, build, and exhibit. For example, for SFC, we will select 7 startups for the first call, and we will give each of them 5,000 euros for the start phase. For the SMA, we will select 8 teams of 1 artist and 1 startup, and again, they will receive 5,000 euros for the first months. For the AFM, it's a bit specific. We will have no start phase. The artist will be directly selected to go to the build phase. And so the start phase will last a month. At the end of the start phase, you will have a pitch session where you will present your work, what you have achieved in a month, and how you would like to develop your project further. For the SMA, you will also present how you will collaborate between artist and startup, how you will work together during the whole duration of the program. And at the end, so after this pitch session, we'll select half of the team to continue in the build phase. The build phase, it's really the core of the program. It's where you will develop your project, where you will get the most of the funding and the training. It will last 5 months. For the SFC track, we will select 3 startups and they will get 50,000 euros. The SMA team will receive, we will get 4 SMA teams. The startup will receive 65,000 euros and the artist 30,000 euros. And for the artist only, we will have 5 artists on the AFM track and they will receive 25,000 euros. So at the end of this period of 5 months, if you achieved correctly the different obligations, go through the different framework and achieve the KPIs, you will have the chance to go to the exhibit phase. And for this phase, we will organize a showcase and an event presenting your work, and we will give a prize to the best artist and best startup for each track. And the price will be of 10,000 euros for the startups and 5,000 euros for the artist. And so, as we said, we will follow the teams, we will monitor the progress, and we will really be there for you when you'll be selected. And for this, I will let Tanja present how NMA will support the startups.
Thank you, Louise. So I'm Tanja from NMA, and yes, we are a media accelerator, next media accelerator, and we are in Hamburg, Germany. And we've been accelerating now for 5 years. We had 11 batches, 74 startups from 15 countries, and yes, we are quite experienced in doing acceleration. So what do we offer you? So we are responsible for the startups, of course, from the SFC track and the SMA track. And what we do, of course, you get the funding, but that's not all. What we offer, we will connect you to interesting people from the European media ecosystem. We will support you with ideas, with our whole team. We will be on your side. We will advise you through the program. And the last smiley, we also want to have fun with you, because creativity and innovation always comes with a good mood and with with people who support you from the bottom of their hearts. So you're very welcome to join us in the next Media Accelerator in Hamburg. So the next slide, please. Just to give you an overview, when we say we want to connect you to people, we have like 30 investors to our program, and lots of partners all over, basically in Germany, but also all over Europe. And we are happy to help you to get in touch with them to, bring your business and your ideas to the next level. The next slide, please, the last one. Yes, as Alexandra and Louise already said, we have trainings, events, mentors, and advisors. And what you see here is, there are examples of events we have been doing the last year. These are virtual events, and yes, it was very successful even in COVID times. So we are looking forward to meet you. And I pass over to Louise, who is going to tell you what she from the IRCAM side in Paris will do to support you.
Yes, so at IRCAM, we are responsible for advising the artists. So for those of you who don't know IRCAM, it's part of Centre Pompidou in Paris. It is a non-profit research institution that is really promoting the collaboration between researchers, engineers, and artists. And now it's one of the largest public lab worldwide in sound and music technology. We host artists in different frameworks like production, research residencies, higher education program. And we have been part of different projects about art, science, and technology residencies. We also host artists in our labs for art residencies in research projects. So we are really experienced with those kind of hybrid projects, and we are really interested in those and how to maximize the creation, how to really develop the ideas of the artists and linked to researchers, to scientists and engineers. So we are really looking forward to discover all those projects and the links that are going to be created between artists and startups. We're very excited. We organized a similar project, but really in Europe that was called STARTS Residencies. And we organized and monitored 45 residencies in research labs and tech companies. So now it's really, we're really looking forward to discover this project, and we will be there through the program to support artists from the contracting period to the end of the program. We will oversee them, really being attentive to their needs. We will, of course, track the progress, the outcomes, the achievements, and also the obligations, be sure that everything is fulfilled. And we will really be a link between artists, startup, and our stakeholders. So as Tanja said, our dissemination network, our also artistic network, and our partners from Europe. So we will be there, let's say, all the time, really linked to NMA for sure. And there will be also we will be a link with the technical support. So maybe I can let Ellen present how we will support artists and startup technically through the program.
Thanks, Louise. I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to talk about the technical support. So King's College London, which is one of the UK's top 10 universities, are overseeing the technical training and mentoring on MediaFutures. The Open Data Institute, where I work, will be delivering the training, and we're a not-for-profit that works with governments and corporations to build an open and trustworthy data ecosystem. And EURECAT will be providing the technical mentorship, and they are the leading technology center in Catalonia. If we go on to the next slide, please. So these are just some examples of projects that we've worked on in the past. So Data Pitch and Odine are two other EU-funded startup accelerators for startups working with open and shared data. Data as culture and data stories are examples of projects that work with artists and storytellers to really interrogate the impact of data on our lives and how citizens engage with it. And if we go on to the next slide, please. Thanks. So yeah, what this will look like on MediaFutures. So KCL, King's College London, are leading the development of a data innovation toolkit, which will take all the experiences of the startups and artists on this program and turn that into a future resource for people that want to do other open innovation and collaborative projects like this around data. The ODI will be drawing on our existing training products and experiences to deliver training. So that covers things like data ethics, data access initiatives, machine learning, draws on programs that we've run with organizations like the BBC. And we'll tailor all of this to meet the needs of whoever is successful in getting onto the program. So it's going to all be adaptable and tailored to you. And then finally, as I said, EURECAT will be providing the technical mentorship. So they've got loads of expertise in things like machine learning, social network analysis, natural language processing. And they've also produced a catalogue of open data resources and open source technologies to help you, particularly during the application process. So the link is there in the slides, which we'll share. So if you haven't seen it yet, that gives you a list of open data sets and tools, and also examples of the type of training you could receive on this program. It's a very quick tour. Happy to answer more questions about this. And yeah, so pass back to you, Alexandra.
Thank you very much, ladies, for the very insightful presentation. As you can see, besides the equity-free funding, which is very important and offered by the European Commission, we are also offering a lot of support and guidance and mentoring from leading institutions in Europe, NMA, EURCAM, and ODI. So it can be deduced that there are very unique advantages and very important benefits when it comes to applying for the first open call of MediaFutures. So that being said, I would like to give the floor to my colleague Mikel from ZABALA. Mikel will very kindly show us the application stages and more the logistics, which is very important to ensure that we receive well your application, and we'll go through the steps of this process. Thank you very much, Mikel. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Alexandra. So, hello, everybody. I'm Mikel Apesteguia from ZABALA Innovation Consulting, and now we are going to explain how to apply to MediaFutures First Open Call. So, going through the next slide, the application process is split in 7 main steps, and this will be indeed the index for this section. Okay. Going through the next slide, please. The first step that you will need to complete is to download the application kit available at MediaFutures website and read all the documents gathered within this application kit. The main document that you must have as a reference will be the guidelines for applicants, where all the details, conditions, and requirements of the first open call and MediaFutures program are explained. So please read this document as is a key for success. All the information you need to prepare a proposal is there. And in addition, it's essential, of course, to read the challenges where all the information is included, and frequently asked questions where most of your doubts will be answered there. Moving to the next slide, please. So the second step, once you have read all those documents, you will have to identify a challenge to which you will like apply. And please consider that applications must target one challenge only and explain how they will address it. Going through the next slide, please. So the next step will be to create an account on the F6S platform. So MediaFutures will centralize all the applications through an online platform called F6S. This platform will be the unique entry point for applications. So this means that application received through any other ways will be automatically discarded. Therefore, all applicants will be required to register a profile on the platform to be able to submit a proposal. Here is a screenshot of the homepage of the platform. Is really easy to set up a profile. So you just have to click the highlighted button, and if we go through the next slide, you will see that the information you need to complete is the usual information for a profile. An important note is that if you run into any issues accessing your account or creating an account, please contact the support email indicated in the slide. Is the contact email of the platform. Okay, they will keenly support you. Going through the next slide, please. It will be, your account will be ready for prepare the application. Going through the questions, you will have 3 main sections. The first one will be the proposal identification, and there you will be requested to complete the name of the proposal, the acronym, to what challenges you are applying for, through what track, and which is your profile, if you are applying as a single individual, as an organization, and so on. So if we go through the next slide, the second section will be the administrative data. This administrative data will be focused on different profiles. It will depend if you are applying as an organization or if you are applying as a single individual. You will need to complete some questions. In this screenshot, you can see the questions devoted to those applicants applying as an organization, where you will be requested to provide the entity legal name, the country, the incorporation year, and the contact person email. On the other hand, if we go through the next slide, if you are applying as a single individual, as a natural person, you will need to complete your name, your surname, the email, and the ID or passport number. In case you are applying as a group of individuals, you will see that there is the possibility to include administrative information of up to 4 individuals. Then the last section of the administrative data, you will need to establish a coordinator. Probably in most of the cases, this coordinator will be one of the contacts included above, but consider that this is mandatory, as the coordinator will be the single contact point for the project. If we go through the next section, this is the core section of the application process. Here you must upload 2 documents. All the applicants will be requested to upload two documents, the proposal and a video. And those applicants applying to the artist-related tracks, it will be requested to upload an additional artistic material. So now I'm going through these documents to explain the essential things or keys to keep in mind for each of the documents. So regarding the proposal, once you have downloaded the application kit, you will see that there is a proposal template for each of the tracks. It's mandatory to use the template. It has been created to help you, as includes guidance comments, and is aligned with the evaluation criteria. So please do not take anything for granted. Fix to the template and explain everything that is relevant for you in the proposal. Furthermore, please consider that the proposal must be uploaded as a PDF document with a maximum size of 30 megabytes, and also consider that the page limit is 10 pages. So everything from the page 10 onwards will not be considered in the evaluation. So regarding the video, as for the video, the essential things that you have to keep in mind is that you have to present briefly your proposal, also the team and the motivation to join MediaFutures program. where you have, it's not necessary to be a professional video with a clear amateur video is enough. And keep in mind that it must be 3 minutes at maximum. And an important note is that you have to include in the platform the link to a YouTube or Vimeo video. Okay. So, and the last document, as I said before, only for applicants that are applying in the artist-related tracks, the AFM and SAMN tracks. So you will need to upload an additional artistic material. This additional artistic material should cater the CV of the artist, the artistic portfolio, and links or past works relevant to the proposal. Please consider also that the document must be a PDF with a maximum size of 30 megabytes. Then, once all the previous information has been adequately completed, all the applicants will be required to accept and comply with the MediaFutures Open Call terms and conditions. And in addition, the applicants related to the artist tracks, you will be required to accept the residency charter. Finally, the application process is coming to an end, so you will just need to click on the blue button and your proposal will be submitted. And I would like to remind the deadline that is 28th January of next year at 12 p.m. noon Central European time. So going through the next slide, please. Congratulations and good luck. You have applied to MediaFutures First Open Call. You will receive a notification from F6's platform confirming it. And an important comment is that in case you submit a proposal and you discover an error, and of course the call deadline has not passed, you may submit a new version. For this purpose, you must request it to us through the open call email included in the slide, and consider that only the last version of the received the last version received before the call deadline will be considered in the evaluation. So just a couple of comments before I end. We would like to highlight the eligibility term because it's very important. So eligible means that you can be legally selected to be part of MediaFutures program. This means that you must comply and proceed according to the requirements and conditions established in the call documentation. So we will analyze these the requirements included in the slide. So please, to find out more information about this criteria, please read all the documentation of the call. And lastly, for you to have a picture of the process, the timeline will be as follows. The deadline, as I said, is 28th January of next year, 2021. You will receive a communication with the results at the end of the February or early March of 2021. Then within March, all the sub-grantee agreements will be signed, and the program with the selected teams will start on April 2021. And that's everything from my side. We encourage you to apply to our call, and good luck. Many thanks.
Thank you very much, Mikel, for the very detailed and informative presentation. Indeed, the process is very intuitive. It is also clearly stated in our website. And for webinar attendees that joined later on, I would like to repeat that we will very soon share this video and the slides via our website and social media. Thus, please make sure to follow us there, and you will receive the update in case you would like to take a second look. Now, we have received many questions, and I would like to encourage you to keep posting questions in our chat. We will be answering some questions now, and if more questions remain unanswered, we will address them via our social media and also by getting back to you directly when a name and email is clearly indicated. So that being said, we can start our Q&A session and address questions. So the first question is more data set related, and it will be for Pablo. So the question is it mandatory to use the data sets listed in the MediaFutures data infrastructure? Pablo, would you like to address the question?
Yes, sure. So thank you for the first question. Well, for this first open call of MediaFutures, we have compiled one of the most extensive collection of data resources on misinformation and coronavirus, which are described in the data infrastructure of the project in plain English to potential applicants. So the challenges that have been defined in the presentation, they can be addressed by the use of any of the data sets or combination of data sets, including these ones that we provide from MediaFutures, but also any other open data set or own data set by the participants. So we are open to any possibilities, but we provide these resources to inspire applicants.
Thank you very much, Pablo. And we have one more question for you, again related to data sets. So the question would be, is it compulsory to use the open data sets suggested by MediaFutures?
Well, it's not compulsory, and we will provide to the participant a first level of technical support for orienting them with existing databases and tools. And also we will provide some basic training session on data management technologies. So we will solve them like the potential of these data sets that have been collected and curated by the MediaFutures teams, but also we will provide some other trainings to allow them to gather data that might be relevant for the project.
Great, thank you very much. That sounds indeed exciting.
Yeah.
And now we have some more artistic related questions, more for our colleague Louise from EURCAM. So the first question would be, which artistic fields are accepted in MediaFutures?
We accept any kind of artist, let's say, any artistic field. So really feel free to apply. This is why also we asked for portfolio and past work so that we can, the jury can evaluate the work and see how, how we can apply to MediaFutures. So yeah, no restriction. Feel free to apply and send us portfolios and things like that for us to discover your work.
Thank you, Louise. And one more question also received for you. How can artists use the grant? What would be your advice on behalf of
it's a good question. It's true that the funding is quite free. Let's say the artist can use it in several ways. Of course, if possible, you can use it for traveling and all the accommodation linked to the project. Of course, one of the important thing is also artistic fees, because you need to be paid for your work, let's say. And also the artwork production. I know it's really costly, so you can use the money for this. And as it's really related to data, use of data, and it's a really important part of the program, and not all of the artists can deal with this, let's say. It's also possible to use the grant to hire someone to work with you, like data engineer, developer, or someone that will help you to achieve the work.
Yeah, that's very important when scaling and when implementing a business idea or an artistic and art tech idea. Thank you very much, Louise. We have also received some questions more related with startup and SME acceleration and incubation. And our colleague Tanja from Next Media Accelerator is the expert in this case to enlighten us. So Tanja, the first question we received was, can you tell us what NMA concretely does to accelerate startups and SMEs?
Yes, as I told you before, it's training, mentorships, and different types of events to meet people. So for the startups who are on the MediaFuture program, we plan to make tailor-made programs according to your needs. Some of the points we have are compulsory, some are optional, and we will advise you what to pick up. So if you ask me what we concrete do in those learning modules, it's like storytelling, pitch training, product and business development, business plan review, sales and go-to-market strategies, pricing, investor and VC approach. Those are the modules we offer. And as I told you before, we want to bring you in contact with the media ecosystem. And yes, we will get you in touch and introduce you to people and show you the doors. And as we say, we show you the doors, we knock on those doors, but you have to open them and step into them by yourself. But we will advise and help you as good as we can to get in touch with people and, of course, with concrete learning modules.
And this is very important when it comes to scaling, because I have worked as a startup consultant, and sometimes if somebody is new in a field, one might not know which is the right door. So getting this introduction is really key and can enable fantastic opportunities and really enable the implementation of a business idea and its subsequent scaling. So that's this answer, Tanja. Thank you so much. This also is linked somehow to another questions we received for you. So the next question is, how can a startup get in touch with the experts and corporates of the NMA network?
Yes, in non-corona times, we always have a lot of events, like physical events, and we are part of big events, European events, where we introduce you to investors and corporates and mentors and interesting people. And but we did our first completely remote virtual batch this year, this autumn, when we finished it, and it was quite successful anyway, even if we did any event remote and virtually, and it works quite well. So we got used to do everything virtual, and yes, we are ready to do it in the next month as well, because I think it's probably that it will be virtual, but it does work. And yes, we do networking and bring you together with everyone you need for your project to get it accelerated.
I absolutely agree. And also we, as MediaFutures Consortium, we are dispersed in many European countries, and we are like a proof that online works, because we work very well together and we are daily in touch. So we will start online, considering that we have to protect our health. Health comes first. And then we really hope that this pandemic will be over, so that we can maybe in the next years of MediaFutures, we can really also meet physically and host some physical events in Hamburg or also in Hanover, where my team is based at the moment. So thank you so much, Tanja, for that. Thank you. And our next question is for Mikel. The question is namely, will the challenges be the same in the next open calls?
Good question. This is something that will depend on the turnout and the selected projects of this first open call. So, in fact, we cannot guarantee that any of the current challenges will be maintained for the next open calls. It will depend. So, if there is any challenge that fits perfectly with your idea, our suggestion is to apply to this call.
Exactly. So we will evaluate the input we receive in the applications this year for this round and see how we can proceed for the next rounds. And it is worth mentioning that MediaFutures started this September, and the project has a duration of 3 years. Thus, we will be launching a total of 3 open calls. So this is the first one, and then we have some applicants that are asking when is the next open call taking place. Mikel, would you like to address that as well?
Yeah, so as you said, we will launch 3 open calls till 2022. It will be 1 call per year. So the second call will be launched between October and December of next year, 2021. And the third and last call will be launched between September and October of 2022.
Exactly. And we're really looking forward to that. So thank you so much, Mikel. And we have one last question that we can answer in this webinar. And this question would be for Ellen. And the question is the technical training and support only for software developers?
The short answer is no. So as we kind of discussed, I mentioned that all the training will be, tailored to what the startups and artists' needs are. So if that is quite specific, technical advice or mentorship, we have those resources, but we also have a lot of offerings around things like data ethics or introduction to machine learning that you don't need any coding knowledge or expertise to benefit from, but we're confident, will really strengthen your products and your ideas and benefit you.
That's fantastic, because in MediaFutures, we are thinking beyond disciplinary sandboxes, and we really want to enable innovation. Innovation is really interdisciplinary. So we want to bring fresh and creative perspectives from the artistic sector and also merge them with data experts and business experts and media experts. So we really believe that we need this transdisciplinary approach, and we are enabling that in MediaFuture. Thank you so much, Ellen. And we have to proceed with the next chapters of the webinar. Nevertheless, if you have more questions, please send them to us and we will address them. Please make sure to follow us also on LinkedIn and Twitter, because we will be answering publicly some other questions that might have been unanswered. So we can move on to the next slide of the presentation. So you can find the detailed information, documentation, including a very rich, frequently asked questions section in our website. This is the link. We will also add it in the chat of the webinar. A tip, please make sure to scroll down, because we have a lot of information in this section, and everything can be downloaded there. And so we have really worked very hard for that. And as coordinator, I'm very proud of this outcome. So please make sure to look at this link, because many questions of yours are already answered online in our website. Nevertheless, if there are still more questions that you feel that you need more clarity or support, we have prepared for you a customized email address. You can see it here on the screen. It's opencall@mediafutures.eu. But please make sure to send us an email and we will support you. That being said, we are very active on social media, particularly LinkedIn and Twitter. And also, for example, on YouTube, where this webinar will also be posted. Thus, it will be very advantageous for you if you follow us there, because we will be sharing more project updates, tips, and answering other questions online and publicly. That being said, we can move on to the next slide of the presentation. Yes, so now we want to really highlight that we offer this very unique opportunity, which is free. For you. It is covered by the MediaFutures project. So we really offer you an online tool where startups and SMEs can meet artists, and they can really exchange and develop new ideas and concepts with which they can apply in MediaFutures. So this is the tool that really enables to discuss with other people about ideas to apply in MediaFutures. You can also get to know a bit the other people and see if you have a good fit with them, if you can work with them, and if you can brainstorm and develop solutions with which you can apply in MediaFutures. Moving on to the next slide. So this tool is offered freely for you. The session starts at 2:30 today, Central European time, and lasts until 8:30, same time zone. We have a special link for that. It has been on the website, and now we are also adding that in our chat so that you can click there and use this session directly. You have to set up your profile before, and then you can register there and book meetings with other people that are really motivated and really have ideas and want to build together a team that can apply for the MediaFutures program. So it's a very unique opportunity, free, so please make sure to use it. And that being said, we have one more webinar focused on our open call. So the next webinar takes place on January 13th at 1 o'clock, same time as today. We will be covering more aspects related to the open call and addressing questions. Of course, the content is kind of the same, so we do not expect major changes. The process is fixed, so even joining this webinar should be sufficiently informative for the applicants. And moreover, what is more important is that we also offer another one, matchmaking session, at the same date after the webinar and same time zone. So 2:30 until 8:30. That means that you can set up your profile beforehand, and then this session opens, and you can virtually schedule meetings and talks with other people and see how you can collaborate and form together a team and apply for MediaFutures. So we can move on to the next slide. So the MediaFutures project is funded by the European Commission. It is an H2020 project, and as you can see here, the consortium partners that are working together and will be supporting you during this process, answering your questions, and also working with the successful applicants. And we can move on to the next slide. So that being said, we would like to wish to everybody of you happy and safe holidays. We are very happy to see that we had more than 150 attendees registered for this webinar. This is a very big success, and we are looking forward to receiving your applications. And in the meantime, we remain available, so we will be working during this period. Thus, please go through the links we have indicated in the slides. They're also added in the chat, and we will be responding and really posting on social media to support applicants that are interested in MediaFutures. So that being said, we wish you the very best of success, and we are really looking forward to receiving your applications and creative ideas. And we can close the webinar by moving to the last slide. It has been a great pleasure to have you here. I'm very happy to have the MediaFutures team also in this webinar, and it was great to interact with you all. And please take care, stay safe and healthy, and we will stay in touch. Wish you a lovely day ahead, and see you in the matchmaking session that starts at 2:30 today, Central European Time. Thank you. Bye-bye.